I'm Tomlyn Nicholson. This is Sunday, January 18, 2026. In Florida, state troopers arrested an anti-ICE agitator for punching an officer during deportation efforts. The governor issued a stern warning that such attacks will land perpetrators in jail, stressing this isn't a place for lenient treatment and vowing full support for federal immigration enforcement. Breaking news out of the Middle East, where the Iranian regime has abruptly canceled a wave of scheduled hangings for protesters after intense pressure from President Trump. Sources confirm the pause came amid reports of ongoing mass executions and atrocities, with the country described as a vast killing field where communications are blacked out to hide the genocide. President Trump has voiced strong respect for the halt, giving thanks while emphasizing the need to end the reign of terror. A bipartisan congressional delegation visited Denmark to ease tensions over President Trump's push to acquire Greenland, reassuring the NATO ally amid backlash from European nations. The visit comes as thousands protest in Greenland and Copenhagen, chanting "not for sale" against U.S. control of the Arctic territory. President Trump announced a 10% tariff on goods from 8 European countries starting February, citing their opposition to the U.S. acquisition of Greenland, with plans to increase it to 25% if demands aren't met. European allies express outrage, viewing the move as escalation in the ongoing standoff over the Danish territory. The Justice Department is investigating Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Freed for allegedly conspiring to impede federal immigration agents during recent enforcement operations. Subpoenas are expected in the probe, stemming from public statements by the officials amid protests and a fatal ICE shooting in the state. President Trump has unveiled the Great Healthcare Plan, calling on Congress to enact reforms aimed at lowering costs and delivering direct financial benefits to Americans. The initiative focuses on expanding subsidies and reducing premiums, building on previous efforts to overhaul the Affordable Care Act. Banks remain uncertain about complying with President Trump's demand for a 10% cap on credit card interest rates by January 20th, awaiting clarification from the White House. Consumer groups and politicians question the feasibility, while the administration expects voluntary adherence from the industry. The White House released a statement on President Trump's plan to end the Gaza conflict, emphasizing comprehensive measures for regional stability and humanitarian aid. The proposal includes diplomatic engagements with stakeholders to achieve lasting peace in the Middle East. An AP analysis shows 10% of U.S. House members have announced they won't seek re-election ahead of the 2026 midterms, potentially shifting congressional dynamics. Retirements span both parties, with redrawn districts and political fatigue cited as factors influencing decisions. Shifting to domestic security, federal agents in Minnesota rounded up over 2,500 illegal immigrants with criminal records in a single day, including child sex offenders and attempted murderers. The operation sparked clashes with state leaders who allegedly conspired to impede ICE, leading to a DOJ probe. DHS highlighted the worst cases, like repeat offenders for assault and drug trafficking, now off the streets. On the economic front, the latest figures show GDP soared to 5.5%, surpassing China's growth rate for the first time in years. Productivity has tripled, wages are up 3.8%, layoffs hit a low not seen since 2022, and inflation stands at just 1.7%. The boom defies early predictions of a crash, marking a strong start to the new administration. President Trump is pushing hard for U.S. control of Greenland, calling it essential for national security in the emerging polar competition. He argues the island, larger than a quarter of the continental U.S., can't be defeated by Denmark alone, and leaves it vulnerable, hands advantages to adversaries in resources and military domains.